Hello, welcome to this next lesson. Today we are going to learn a rotation script. So first thing is you need an object. Today we're going to use a cube because it's going to be the easiest to see that rotation on this cube. And then you also need a script gizmo. So once you got those two things out, we're going to open up this script gizmo. So we got our panel open. Let's make this a little bit more adjustable. All right. So on the very top, you want to make sure you name your script so that way you can quickly identify it later. We're going to call this rotation. All right, then we got rotation. All right, so we want this object to rotate at the start of the world. So anytime the world starts, we want to make sure that this object is continuously rotating. So we want to leave when world is started here. All right, first thing we need to do is we need to create an event. So we need to go under events, the first tab here, and we're going to go to event actions. We need to send an event to object. So we're going to go ahead and grab that by holding down the top trigger button and drag it over. And it's going to populate right under when world is started. We're just going to leave everything there. We also need to create when the event is received. So under events, under this first tab, we're going to go under events, when event is received. There we go. All right. So now we have to create the rotation movement on the object. So we're going to go to our second tab, which is these arrows. Under, if you highlight it, it says motion. Go ahead and click that. And we are going to go over motion over time. And we want to rotate this, so we need to rotate by over time. So we're looking for that rotate by over time under motion over time. And you'll see this rotate self by, and then this red pill with the X, Y, and Z axis. It defaults to 90 over 1 second. So to rotate this kind of like a spinning planet, we want it to rotate on the Y axis. So we're going to change this Y axis from 0. We're going to change it to 179. So we want it to rotate 180, just slightly under 180 over 5 seconds. We're going to change this to 5. All right, so we got rotate self by 179 degrees on the y-axis over 5 seconds. All right, so then we're going to go back over to our events, and we're going to do send event with delay. So we're going to go under event actions, under events, and look for send event with delay. So we got send my event to self after 1 second. So we want to change this to 5 to match the 5 up on top. So we have them both at the same 5 seconds, 5 seconds. So when world is started, send my event to self, which is going to be that cube. When the event is received, rotate self, which is the cube, by 179 degrees over 5 seconds. Send my event to self after 5 seconds. So that is it. It's just those. We got a green check mark, so that means it is good. We can go ahead and close this script. All right, and then you can go to your object. We're going to open up the property panels on this object. And on the very bottom, it says attach script. We're going to go over to the drop down. We're going to look for our script. I forgot to change the name, but that's okay. All right, and there we go. We have a rotating cube. So it's going to rotate 179 degrees every 5 seconds and continue that rotation every time that event is received after 5 seconds. Now, if you want to change the direction, so this is going clockwise. If we want to change it to go counterclockwise, we're just going to throw a negative sign in front of the 179. And look at that. It changed its direction to be counterclockwise. And if we wanted to rotate on a different angle, we can always change that too. So we can enter 0 here on the Y. let's do 179 on the x-axis. So now it's going to rotate on a side rotation from the x. So this is the x. It's going to always rotate following the x-axis, which is these red sides. So it's rotating on the x. Now if we wanted to rotate it on the z, we can go back up and change this to 0. And we can change this to 179. And then, there we go. And there we go. It is rotating now on the z axis because this is the x, y, and z. So that's really simple for getting that object to rotate. So this is super simple, easy to do. If we want to take this one step further, we can create an oscillation by combining objects. So it's going to change this. All right. Okay. So let's say we want this to rotate around, kind of almost like a blimp or, something flying in the sky in a rotation. We can do that by going and finding, let's pull out a cylinder. And then for right now, we're gonna take this script off. All right. And then we're going to take this object. We're gonna attach it and line it up there. I'm gonna expand this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this object, turn it invisible and not collidable, because we don't want this visible. We're going to group these two objects together. And then this creates a new center point on this grouped object. So the center point is going to be right here. So this is where when we attach our script rotation, it's going to rotate from this center point. Instead of it being on the center point of this cube, it's going to be in the center point. So when you group objects together, it's taking the new center point when we attach the rotation script. So then if we attach the script, we got this movement where now we see the square moving almost like an oscillation. And since that cylinder we made invisible stays invisible, it doesn't look like that anything is holding that square. So when we come in play mode, it looks pretty cool. So it looks like the square is moving around in a circle. So that's a cool tip and trick for using the rotation script. All right, that is it there, guys. Thank you.